Super excited. Today I have Raul coming all the way from Australia. He has such an interesting story. We've been able to connect online over the last few months, and our whole team is really looking forward to having him here. So let's look and see if he's coming in anytime now.
Thank you. So pleased to be here. It's great. Thank you for your ovation.
Let's go. So very excited to have Raul here with us today. Raul, tell us where you're from originally and where have you been over the years?
Well, I'm originally from Mexico or Mexico for the locals. I'm from the north of the country. And where I have been, well, that's an interesting story. I've been, in Canada, the US, Central America, South as far back as Chile, and I currently live and have lived in Australia for the last 27 years.
Very good. So there's something about bald people. I think that they're drawn together even across the globe. But what about us? Where did we first meet?
Well, it's another interesting story. I've been running, of course, with my team, an engineering company. We do power. We can get into that a bit later. And we were looking for better ways to promote our company. We are engineers, and by nature, by definition, we're not particularly good at marketing in general, and let alone digital marketing. So while doing my search and try to research on what to do, I received one of your emails. And yes, I receive a lot of emails all the time with all these people offering SEOs and all these sort of things, and half of the acronyms that I don't understand. But what like was that you put a link there about a video about yourself and your company. So I said, well, that looks very real to me, very human, likable. So I decided to reach out, and here we are today.
I appreciate you coming. So with your company, tell us a bit more about it, what you guys are doing. You mentioned briefly, but what is everyday life for you guys, what you do, and who are some of the types of companies that you work for?
Well, the company started because I originally was part as an engineer, not as a company, working on big projects, big mining projects, for example, that I solved the problems they had with the power system. So, long story short, our company works and solves the problem for big companies, big plants, for example, power stations, mines, big power users, and we provide solutions for that big power, electrical power. I suppose that's a way of saying it without getting too much into the technicality. So probably in some aspects you can say what we don't do. We don't do smaller stuff. We don't do buildings, for example. We go into the big power users. Yeah. Trying to bring all the new technologies also as well into the game.
Yeah, it's been very interesting for the team and I here. We've been fortunate to have Raul at the office with us for about 2.5 days.
Yes.
So far, and a lot of what he talks about goes far over my head, not just because I'm short, but because a lot of new things to learn, but very fascinating to hear about some of the very big power problems that occur around the world, and Raul and his team at Voltex figuring those things out. So what does cross-cultural communication look like for you guys? You're not just in Australia, but you're dealing with projects in different parts of the world, and on those projects it sounds like people in many different countries at times working on the same projects. What does that look like for you in terms of cross-cultural leadership and communication?
Well, the cross-cultural situation, I don't really need to leave the office at all, because Australia being Australia, the land of migrants, even in the office we got, a little United Nations there. We got people from all over the place. And yes, we have also an office in Santiago in Chile. And our projects, yes, have been far and wide. We have done projects in places like Hong Kong, the Philippines, Thailand, Papua New Guinea, New Zealand, and Panama, and the list goes on. So it's always interesting, but I believe that the environment that even Australia provides is a very good grounding place to fine-tune your multicultural skills, to try to communicate people with different sensitivities, different languages. We all try to speak the same language. I mean, the best effort to try to speak English. But yeah, it's quite interesting and has been great. I really enjoy that part of the work. Yes, even with the challenges it brings. Sometimes, if not complex but funny misunderstandings, is quite good, quite entertaining sometimes.
Yes, I really related a lot to Raul. I think we have a lot in common, not just with the obvious haircut, but both of us coming from different countries. I also had lived in Australia 10 years previously, both married to Filipinas.
Yes, we are.
As well.
We think we can understand each other a bit better, sharing our experiences.
Yes.
Which is lovely, I have to say. It's great. And yeah, that was another. I mean, if you think it's a bit of a challenge to be on a workplace where you need to communicate when you have different cultures, well, just imagine being married to a different culture. I mean, it goes both ways, and it creates very interesting situations. And yeah, you learn a lot. You learn to see even life in a different light, because obviously it's a completely different background. So what you think your philosophy is, well, is many other philosophies around you.
Absolutely. So a number of people that watch the challenge are very, interested in starting a new business or even starting a business in another country. What would you say to somebody that was considering starting a new business?
Well, do it. I will say that.
Okay,
just
great
do
advice.
it. Don't overthink it, but plan. So that is a big difference for me between thinking it too much, and because the more you think, the more doubt you get in yourself or what you want to do, or if your idea is good or not. But you need to plan, because if you don't, as they say, if you fail to plan, you're planning to fail. Right, so it's all about planning, be prepared. I always advise people, when it's not the first time I've been asked this question, because people know I run a business, is just imagine if you're really starting from scratch. Just imagine today is the first day you open the doors of whatever idea or business you have. What are you gonna do next? By answering that question, you're gonna realize, at least partially, the work you need to do before you get to that first day.
Absolutely.
But go for it. I reckon it's one of the best things you can do.
Absolutely. And then if I could just ask one final question, so many other people also thinking about moving to the Philippines or another country like me, actually even far more than me. You've spent a lot of your life away from your country of birth. What might you tell someone that would be considering moving to Philippines or another part of the world?
Well, I have to say, migration is not for everybody. The grass is always greener, as they say. So same story with the business. If you want to do it, do it. You almost need to be obsessed to do it, because it's not easy. It requires a lot of legal processes you need to go through, depends who you want to migrate to, and then you need to find your footing on wherever you're going, right? And you need to be really open-minded, because you're gonna be arriving to a new culture, a new language perhaps, and you're the one who need to adapt to that culture. You cannot expect that entire new society to adapt to you. But I say that most cultures are generally welcoming. That has been my experience, because sometimes I have migrated to Australia, that's right, and love the country, but I have also spent considerable time in other countries during projects, and I find that people are really welcoming in general, and they eager to show you and explain you their culture.
So true.
They usually do that. They go out of their way to explain you, and they forgive you for all your wrongdoings when you try to speak their language or do something that you think is nice, but in their culture is not. So it's quite good. It's a great experience. So again, if you want to do it, just go for it. Just do your research. Now everything is in your fingertips online. So
absolutely,
do your research and go for it.
Yeah, appreciate your answers. Well, I got to say, this has been an extra fun week for me. It's not every day we get the opportunity, being so far away in the Philippines, to meet with somebody overseas, and it's really been not only an honor but a lot of fun having Raul here. The Purple Cow team and myself are going to really miss having you around, so thank you so much for making the effort to come all the way over here and visit us.
Oh, thank you. It's been great. These guys have gone out of the way to, I will say, feeling at home, but I feel better than home. It's been so great. I've been fed like you won't believe, I suppose, typical Philippines. So you done well. You adapted to the culture. Very welcoming team. I can see that the team is not only professional, but they happy. Look like you have a team that is happy to be here, and that's great to see. You don't see that every day. So thank you very much for your hospitality and the work you're doing. And I've been learning a lot because I'm a bit clueless about marketing, and this is great for me to learn. Always keen on that. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Well, guys, appreciate you as well taking the time, as always, to watch. And as always, take care.